Thank you, everybody. We're blogging about some things, just a rundown. One, there's a couple points to make about China. When China goes to own an oil company, and you make the comparison of Banana Republic, George Floyd, and then Nancy Pelosi trying to push for a $3 trillion stimulus bill, all of it doesn't work. It's like they want to destabilize America to become a banana republic. And what happens is you got representatives and senators that will lay it out a little bit better. A $3 trillion stimulus is not going to fix this. People have to go back to work. They want people to be on welfare, and the welfare state, more like institution abuse, more or less. But it goes to the Cloward and Piven strategy. And if you put it all together, you can pretty much get the whole story. That a Cloward and Piven strategy, plus some communism in there, because Antifa, you don't want to forget that. And add these other factions to this. You can see the idea is what? To make the ruling class in control of the lower middle class. The lower the standards, the lower, look, going to school, those education standards, those things are, those are assumed things that we want. But you see the Cloward Piven strategy, and then you see the institutional abuse that's going on. The black community has experienced this. A lot of people have experienced this, not just the black community, but a lot of people who have experienced abuses. So we want reform, and I think criminal justice reform is where we're at. They don't want police at all. That's not going to work. They're going to have to come up with a reasonable solution. We don't want a banana republic, and we don't want an unstable government, and we don't want people who are housed in jail, indefinitely detained. We want the process of the U.S. Constitution to be at work. The U.S. Constitution will come into play. It will come handy. Everyone who's a U.S. citizen, you will benefit from knowing a little bit more about the constitutional freedoms you have. As long as you know what your constitutional freedoms are, you know what you're fighting for if you ever have to go to court. Here's the thing. There's over 30,000 illegals coming into the United States a day. Tell me, when you start to realize that, is America going to become a republic? This was asked in Atlanta, the Atlantic, in 2013. It's shaping into this, and that's what they want it to become. The laws out there are constitutional. You have to think of the Constitution. Does this apply to the Constitution? Because if you know the answer is no, then you see where the case is going. It has to be constitutional, or it won't go anywhere. It'll just, the person that's the most constitutional is going to do it. Got it? It's not just laws. It's not just how things are conducted. It's constitutionality. And there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about, but I'm just going to keep it real brief. This is what is going on in America today. We want a stable, sound, smart decision makers to be making decisions. We do not need decision makers going off and selling America off to China, or businesses and companies to China. Our meat and the quality and standard of our meat and dairy have to be the way it was before. Everything has to go through quality check. Listen, I'm not being ignorant. There's a lot of nice people that are from other parts of the world. They have to obey the U.S. laws. That's how it really works. Okay, so with that said, that was our blog, and There's a lot to this banana republic. You should listen and study. Please.